Welcome back to part 2. We will continue to discuss what we like and dislike about our Basecamp 2 after 3 years ownership, and we'll show you some issues we have encountered along the way. There is plenty of storage space for all your clothes. 3 handy removable bags that can be filled at home and then transported full into the caravan. There is a lot more space under the sofas and a decent wardrobe too, depending on how many things you have to hang. Opening and closing is probably one of the most annoying part of any of our holidays, and we have lived with this since we collected 3 years ago. I still don't know why. When you look at the fixings, you can see without any doubts that it is a poor fix. Nowadays, we just move the whole door and push the bottom of it up with our foot to be able to close the door. The push button on it is not so much better. It is very stiff, and really the whole thing could do with a new fresh redesign. My personal opinion of the bathroom is that it is a compact space, but I'm really comparing this to one of my previous caravan where I had a completely separate shower cubicle, and the Basecamp is all in one. Some caravans have even smaller bathrooms where you have to swing the toilet bowl out of the way if you fancy a shower. So all in all, the Basecamp shower room is compact and gives you all you need. Until you get the hang of it, at the first few uses you might find that the shower curtain gets stuck on your legs as it gets wet, and the ease of drying yourself in the shower room really depends on your mobility skills. I wouldn't say this is a negative feature at all, because the Basecamp is built for adventures, and it is one step ahead of other, even more compact caravans that have no shower rooms at all. The shower head is quite nice. It is an eco-orbit type, which will give you a wider water flow to get a decent shower. Since owning the caravan, we have removed the shower hose out of its metal holder. For us, it is easier to have this off to fully drain the shower after each trip or before winter. The door handle has always felt a little loose. A couple of times we have wondered why the door locked itself, once in particular during transit. It is probably because the locking mechanism appears to be loose too. Strictly speaking, you don't need a key to unlock the door either. Just a flat object like a flat screwdriver or even scissors would help you unlock the bathroom door. We found that the sealant next to the loo is now lifting. It is something we can easily fix. We just need to replace the sealant and it doesn't appear like a major issue. We had a leak on year 2. One day I found water in the kitchen pull-out drawer that is directly under the kitchen sink. As you can see, in the sink there is a screw that holds everything together, and this in transit with time had come a little loose. It was a simple fix by tightening the screw gently with a flat screwdriver. It's definitely not a major issue, but it's something to bear in mind. On our last trip this year, the same has happened to the sink in the bathroom, so another quick fix for a really small leak. If you own a Basecamp and you've never had to look under the bathroom sink, then you are one of the few lucky ones. This is what you will find under the sink. This is probably one of the most problematic things to solve in the caravan, in my opinion, when suddenly a huge water stream comes down from under the sink when you turn the water pump on. When this happened to us last year, I left it to the experts to replace the tap, but this taught us a valuable lesson. Always make sure that your caravan is fully drained before winter storage. Our serviceman assured us it was due to water residues left in the pipes over winter, and frost possibly damaging the connections, so you can understand why we now take the shower hose completely off before we store the caravan away for winter. We move on to the kitchen, and if you have many gadgets that need to be plugged in, there are 2 visible plugs in the lounge area, 2 USB points and a 12-volt socket, but they're not enough. The kitchen surface has a hidden tower that compacts down when not in use. This gives you a further 3 plugs and is very handy. You might find the kitchen surface area not quite as big for your cooking prep. The Swift has thought of that, and they can sell you a sink cover to remedy. And if you are still struggling for space, Lots of Basecamp owners have made their own version of hob cover, and some, like myself, have just bought a simple plastic garden tray that fits perfectly over the hobs and gives you more surface space. The cover we have is not designed to stay in place during transit. We only use it once we settle at a campsite. The cover we use is plastic, and we remove it every time we use the oven, because even though you're not using the hobs, the heat from the oven rises up, making the hobs a little warm. The same goes for the kitchen cupboards. It is personal choice, but if you find you need more space, we have removed the dish rack that is screwed into the left cupboard and added our own shelves to be able to pack more when we go away. To conclude this video, there is still a lot more to consider about Basecamp and many additional benefits to owning one. I hope you will join me by watching part 3 of this review. There are more observations to make, followed by an overall conclusion to our full review. Thank you for watching.